Okay, so I've kind of made the basic framework for the glass roof. Now I just need to fill it in. Um, while I was doing this, I was kind of hoping it would stop some of the water. So I was thinking that most of the source blocks were at the top, and then afterwards I realized that the whole thing is source blocks. So that's where I was getting at the end of the last video, where I just make this giant cube of blocks of water, and it's really hard towards the end of the videos removing it all. Sorry, it looks really dark too. I've watched a couple of videos where people do underwater stuff, and they've somehow gotten the video underwater to look clear and bright, and I haven't figured out how to do that. Oh, this was fun. The roof totally killed me. That was entertaining. Also, I don't know if you're going to see that weird coloration thing that's going on my video right now, but I don't know what did that. It didn't do that in the game, and it didn't do it on my initial recording of the video. It just did it after I rendered the video the first time in Fraps, and it doesn't really last the whole video, but it lasts a while. I don't know why it did that. Okay, here's where I've finally broken into the main room, and I've kind of walled off some of the water after I removed that first top layer, and I actually get a little smarter about it. I start uh, sectioning off portions uh, and removing the water from those manually. Again, I don't know why I didn't think of just covering it all in dirt and then digging the dirt out, but uh, I don't know. And this is where I actually figure it out. Looking back at this, I know I've said this 100 times already, but looking back at this, I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this before? So my main plan for this building was to make a farm, because I figured, kind of like a little hydroponics bay would be really cool, even though it's not going to be true hydroponics, because that doesn't need dirt, but I kind of figured, everybody else is doing farms, and I need to do one eventually, so what better way than to do it like this? So that's kind of what I decided. Saw a couple of people ask X how he made these floating light blocks in his farm, and I don't think he covered it. So I went ahead and did this to kind of give y'all an idea. Really easy. Now this is why I initially built this underwater structure to be my farming area, is I figured that the water directly underneath the dirt would saturate it, kind of like how redstone dust will still work if it's underneath a block. Um, but here I was completely confused because the water wasn't working. And then I hoed over here, and this saturated. Um, the only thing I could figure is because the blocks are on the water is on the other side of those glass blocks, which would put the dirt within 4 blocks of water. Uh, which is kind of aggravating because you'd think that water would work from underneath to saturate dirt, but I don't know, it just doesn't. I don't know if that's something he plans to change or what, but basically my solution for that would be to fill up all these trenches that I dug around the outside for walking in with water, and that basically fixed it. Okay, now at a certain point, um, I noticed that there was just not enough sunlight coming through the top to really speed up the growing process during the day. It was growing just as fast during the day as it was at night. So I figured it's only 2 blocks up to the surface of the water, so I'll build up with glass along the outside so light can still come down through there, uh, and then remove the water so that I can get sunlight coming all the way through during the day. And that drastically sped up the growing process, so I'm pretty glad I did that. Now I am going to have my new save game file available for download in the description box below. I have made a couple of changes to the top of this underwater structure from what you're going to see in the video. Nothing drastic or anything. I think I put a ladder from the inside coming up here in case I swim over here for some reason, then I can get back in. Um, Also, I created a small section right about here where it juts out into the water a little further so that I can put chests up there without blocking the sunlight. Um, so there's just not enough chest room inside to fit everything I'm probably going to need in the future. So if you want to see all that, you can download my save game file and check it out there. It should be pretty sweet. Okay, now here's the problem with the boat. Initially, I only made it 1 water block wide, which obviously right here you can tell that wasn't going to work. The boat needs at least 2 water blocks of width to move, otherwise it'll get stuck. Um, Now, going down there was really nice. I never realized how fast boats actually were until I watched X, like, boat away from the X system, and it was just speedboating the whole way, and I was like, wow, that's a really good mode of speedy transportation without having to shell out a lot of iron for tracks or worry about whether a minecart booster is going to work right. Um, so it worked really well. I was pleased with getting down here. It worked a lot better than expected. Now you're going to notice that I only have crops on a small section. Yeah, I don't know why jumping out of your boat makes you go through the glass. Um, I only have a small section of crops here, but when you harvest fully grown crops, they give you more than one seed back. They usually give you 2 to 3. So you can replant what you just reaped and then put the new seeds in another location. Now this is where I realized that the boat's probably not going to work. Is the smallest brush against the side will destroy it. Yeah, there it is, just one tiny tap, and now you got to walk the whole way. It's very frustrating. I tried filming this like 6 or 7 times and it never worked. So, that's basically it. So, thanks for watching.